Hi, hello everyone. So sorry, I know it's 7 minutes past 5, and I do apologise. Hello out there. Some of you have probably kind of come on and gone off and all the rest of it. So I do apologise. Nature prevails. You know, sometimes nature kind of gets in there, and you just have to do what you have to do, and even though it's that time. So I do apologise, and because of that I'm just going to turn my phone on to silent, so that dings, dongs and alerts and all the rest of it don't come through. Right, so let me just reply to somebody, because someone's just messaged me. Yes, I am now live. Someone's just so hopefully there'll be one of you. Anyway, what I tend to do is I put all of my lives onto my YouTube channel. So what I'm just going to do here is just say hello into the comments. Hello, good evening. Sorry, a bit late. Can find past lives on YouTube. Do you know when you have glasses and the glasses are the wrong prescription? I must get this sorted out. On YouTube. Medium. Right, hello Emily, hello. So there's a couple of you. Hi, I do apologise for being late. Sorry, nature called, as well as one of my oldest best friends called, and I said I have to go, I've got a Facebook Live. So, but yes, so there we are. Right, okay. So today I was going to talk about talking to yourself. Now, I do want to see some hands up of those. Hiya, Tracy. Hello. For those of you who talk to yourselves, because I'm sure I am not the only one who goes around the supermarket. And by the way, this really does work, especially at Christmas time. If you stand there, you will find people kind of separate and go off into different directions, and they kind of go, oh, she's talking to herself, she's a little bit mad. And I'm not mad, honestly. I know some of you who know me would say, you're lying to us, Emily. Eccentric I may be, because eccentricity is something that I'm working towards, especially when I get into my dotage. I think English people, or the British people, are slightly eccentric, and I don't want to lose that quirkiness. I think it is kind of something that we should embrace, hold on to. And I'm going to embrace it, and I'm going to hold on to it. Now, I came up with this thing of talking to myself because we all do it, right? And I know I talk openly about talking out loud. And like I say, at Christmas time, when you're going down Christmas shops, and in fact, I've been doing it, I have to think back, since my teenage years. All right, and I did notice, especially when it came to Christmas time, that actually I would actually get to go to the head of the service and everything. I just want to check that if all of you can hear me okay as well, because I know the sound quality wasn't great last time as well. So if there's any problems, please let me know as well. But yeah, I noticed that actually people drifted away, so I could actually see things a lot clearer. It was great. And I've noticed a couple of other people when I've been shopping and I'll mumble out a list out aloud. They kind of go, I do that as well. And I go, yeah, no, I often talk to yourself. Now, my first encounter of knowing that it was normal, because by this point, you know, people tell you, oh my God, you're mad talking to yourself and all the rest of it. You know, we all get that, don't we? We all get, oh, you're talking to yourself, you're talking out loud, Emily. It's the first sign of madness. Was when I heard Brian Blessed interview, very, very brief interview, and it was his first time going up Mount Everest, and it was filmed, wasn't it? And it was a part of a BBC documentary, I think it was, about Brian Blessed ascending. I think that's right. Ascending Mount Everest, and he was doing it as a lone thing as well. Emily, yes, I tend to contemplate things. Yes, I have a conversation with myself and then random shout out things if I'm having Tourette's. Yeah. You know, I'm going to sidetrack slightly with Tourette's. There's a song, I think it was by the Foo Fighters, I Predict a Riot. Yeah, for months, in fact, all the time that it's been out, I heard I've got Tourette's. Yeah, and if you listen to it, it does sound like I've got Tourette's. And I sang that out loud. Luckily, there was a friend nearby, and she said, "What are you singing?" I said, "The song, and it says I've got Tourette's." And she laughed and she said, "No, I Predict a Riot." And I went, "No, it sounds like I've got Tourette's." So anyway, there we go. Now where was I? Yes, Brian Blessed. Brian Blessed. So easily distracted am I. Brian Blessed, and he was talking about all of the medical advice that he was given, about what he had to do medically, what things the medical profession told him. And one of the things that they said to him, because he was doing this by himself, was to talk to himself. And he turned around, he said, "You what?" And the reporter went, "You what?" And they said, "Yes, talking to yourself is actually a sign of you working things through." Great, isn't it? Now, I talk out loud to myself, and I have loads of conversations when I'm out dog walking, and I still do a lot of that. And sometimes it kind of goes into a surreal world. So I then become multiple characters. You see, now some of you may be going, "Hang on, Emily, no. Now you're really going into the realms of madness." But think about it. Because I have dyslexia, I find it easier to talk things through, and rather than to write it down and to refer to pieces of paper. I mean, I've printed off, I'm just going to show you, I've printed off articles about talking to yourself, and I've given them a quick brief, and I was thinking of writing some notes and all the rest of it, and yeah, obviously they're to the side, because I just kind of go, actually, let's just go about my own experience. And they've just backed up my own experience, because in a way it's about sorting through what's happened. Like Emily, you have things where you contemplate about what's going on. It's a way of forming lists. I mean, I go through my list, especially in shops, you kind of go, yes, carrots, I need this. And, we do that. Today was a prime example. I'm going to be making some chocolates for Easter. So by the time, my family don't watch this, so I'm okay to say this. So I was going through an idea of chocolates in my head, and I thought, oh my God, I was given some ginger in syrup. Now, I'm not going to eat ginger in syrup because I'm not really trying to eat sugar. However, I've been a bit naughty this Easter. I have had some hot cross buns, I'll confess. I've had hot cross buns and I've had a few scones. Anyway, but I'll get back on track. The scones, Ted the dog will love that. He shouldn't have it. He'll eat them. Birds, he'll have to fight with the birds for that anyway. So yeah, slightly off the wagon, getting back on the wagon. But it's syrup like that I'm really not going to eat. And I thought, fabulous. Ginger and syrup, I can use those up. I was given those as a Christmas present, can use that up. And then what goes well with ginger? Lemon. And what goes well with lemon? Chili. And I went, yes, that would be an excellent idea. So yes, I was going, yes, does that work? Yes. Ginger. And there was this woman, and I said, yes, that would work, wouldn't it? And she looked at me and she went, what would work? I said, ginger, chili and lemon. And she said, really, do you think the chili would work? So you end up having a conversation, and I said, yes, but it's to make chocolate. And she went, and I said, I made you think differently now, because the chocolate, obviously, it's dark chocolate, by the way. I don't know if it's going to work. But I've got a couple of other ideas. I'm not going to shout them out here. But yes, it's talking to yourself. It actually is sorting out what's going up here. And if you live alone, for those of you live alone, you do find that you talk out loud. I mean, for me, doing this feels as though at times I'm talking to myself, which is fine. It's fine by me. I can talk for hours by myself. So what about it being spiritual? And going on to the spiritual side of things as well. Okay, now I'm not going to. I'm talking about the spiritual first before I talk about things where people will need to worry about people talking to themselves, because there is part of that where people kind of go, oh no, she is going down that side of schizophrenia and all the rest of it. Okay. Can I just say this, that there has been a study, and I did read it, and I did print off the paper, and it was researched into mediumship and schizophrenia. They are very closely related. Hate to point that one out to you. If you didn't know that before, they are closely related. But it is the way of how a person deals with trauma, is what this article was saying. I am not saying it's true. I'm just saying that this article was saying it was how people dealt with trauma of one description or another. Schizophrenia, I would say, is a whole disorder in itself, and that medical intervention is needed with that. It's a huge issue. I know nothing. I am not a doctor. I am not medically professional or anything like that. The overlaps with schizophrenia and with mediumship is obviously hallucinations of seeing things, smelling things. I did point this out to my aunt. She is a doctor of a description, and you know, you do speak to yourself and you do hear voices. Okay, but with schizophrenia it's slightly different. You're into a manic phase at that situation, and it's a very, very different situation to mediumship. Okay, so can I just point that out? It is different. There are similarities, but they're very, very different as well. So I'm just going by what the article says. There is an overlap. It is about dealing how you deal with things. Okay, and hence why I want to talk about talking to yourself, because we're in this phase of looking at mental health at the moment, and we are looking at how we deal with things. How do we cope with mental health? How do we sort out all the stuff that's going on in here, the stuff that gets bombarded to us? And trust me, when you're preparing for a speech, you talk it out loud. Lots and lots of people are talking to themselves, they just don't admit it. So if you've got any comments, please put them up. I'm happy to hear your comments. If you agree or if you disagree with what I'm saying, that's absolutely fine as well. Now for me, let's go back to the spiritual. And for me, it's very much I will actually, if I'm out for a walk or going to have a bath, and when I say bath, I do mean that in a meditative way, and I do mean it as though I'm looking at taking 3 hours out of my life to have a bath. It is not a case of, oh, it's a quick 20-minute splash and get myself clean. It is about cleansing my body, cleansing my mind, getting rid of stuff that I don't need. And part of that 3 hours is actually almost doing an address. Now, for those of you who don't go to church or anything, an address is, how can I describe it? It's like a monologue. It's me like here talking to you, apart from spirit come in, and then it's almost like having a discussion, and they will take over the talk. And I did find by doing this, talking out loud, I ended up talking for two hours at times, and it would just literally, I would get answers out loud because I could hear it verbally, and it's almost as though your body remembers much more clearly if you say things out loud. This is why at school you are taught to say things out loud. You get taught to say words out loud. French or any language that you're learning, you don't just sit there and read it. You talk it out aloud, don't you? But there's a bit of memory going on, bodily memory going on. Either it's the way your mouth is formed and the muscle memory, there's memory in your mind of how it actually sounds. It doesn't sound quite right. It should be, you know, I watched a program yesterday about boys going off to India to go to the school, and he was saying, oh, it's Namale. See, I can't even remember it now, but I know I've got that wrong. Nuram, Emily, hey, yeah, that's it. So it's kind of how you say your name, introduce yourself and things as well. So I'm just going to see if there's any other comments. Just bear with me. Oh, there are some other comments. Hello, Hillary, hello. Thank you, Emily. I talk to myself. Yeah, in lockdown. Yeah. Okay, Tracy. I was Oh, Tracy. Well, okay, Tracy. Perhaps you can help me then. With that, if and I'm not going to, like I say, I am not a doctor, I am not a psychiatrist, I am not a trained medical professional. So if I have got things wrong, and I don't underestimate medical diagnosis at all, you know. So I hope I haven't offended anybody with what I say. Please, if I can, that'd be great, Tracy. Thank you. So it's very much of a case of Tracy, like I say, I hope I haven't offended you. I'm only going by what the report says. But yes, and I know that there is a difference. So for me, spiritually speaking, I find it is a great way of connecting to spirit as well, talking out loud, because it is very much I talk to myself constantly. I remember my mum, bless her cotton socks, she would often say, you're Miss Chatterbox, aren't you? And when I was younger, I was constantly talking to myself, although I didn't know it. But I would literally talk to myself all the time. I would have imaginary friends, although I don't really remember that having imaginary friends. I thought I just had friends. You know, spiritually, I'm going to say I had friends. To my parents, they were imaginary, absolutely fine. But I would talk constantly, and she would call me Miss Chatterbox as well. I go out for walks in the wood, I will talk through things, and sometimes I would actually, now Tracy, you described it perfectly. You could never offend me. Bless you, Tracy. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. And for me, when I go out for a walk in the woods, I will actually then reconnect and think, oh, okay, what am I going to talk, especially if I've got a service coming up, and I would think, okay, I've got a service coming up, an address, what sort of things are going through my mind. I have to say, what I talk about in my address actually in the service is not necessarily what comes up when I'm talking in spiritually when I'm out for a walk in the woods. But it kind of gives me a frame, a work frame to work around. So that's also another thing that talking to yourself out loud can also help with. It's sorting things through. It's also a way of journaling, making sense of things. Here's another prime example, and this is why I have to work by myself, because it drives people potty. I worked as a civil servant. I know, don't shout at me. It's okay. Don't shout at me. And I'm coming back to that. Emily said, can I ask your opinion? At what stage would you be worried or concerned for someone who is talking to themselves out loud? Would you intervene and help them? Right. Okay. Now, one of the articles I printed out has that very thing there for you, Emily. So I'm going to come back to you on that one, if that's okay. So I'm going to have a quick look at that. I did have a quick look, and there are some pointers about it as well. Probably first I would say, are you okay? But that's just me, because I'm just nosy. But yes, it depends how well you know the person as well, I suppose. Right, so I was talking about, I've forgotten where I was. Somebody remind me. I've got distracted. So easily done. Right, Emily, I'm going to, while I try to remember where I was, See, this is what happens. And I will have a quick look for you, because I saw this in an article about what to do when to be concerned. That's your question. Okay, so small print, have to take glasses off. Okay. See, I love this article. Excuse me, Tracy, but I'm just reading what it says on here, which is from it's totally normal and healthy. Talk to yourself. Medically reviewed by Timothy L. Legg, PhD, CRNP. Okay, so this was on healthline.com. Okay, I just googled it, and it says there's some conditions such as schizophrenia may appear talking to themselves. It generally happens as a result of auditory hallucinations. In other words, they often aren't talking to themselves but replying to a voice only they can hear. I am now concerned. If you hear voices or experience other hallucinations, it's best to seek medical professional support right away. A trained therapist can offer compassionate guidance and help you to explore potential causes of these symptoms. If you want to stop talking to yourself but can't, break the habit. Talk on your own. This is where a therapist can help you, by the way. Feel distressed or uncomfortable about talking to yourself and experience bullying and other stigma because of talking to yourself. Okay, and talking yourself down as well. That's not always good. Okay, right. So Tracy's gone and said, if they are receiving messages from a dark source and if the voice is telling them to self-harm, then that's to worry. So there you go, Emily. Then that's to worry. Perhaps even if they are seeing things that aren't there, that would be another warning sign. Fabulous. Thank you very much. Thank you, Tracy, for that. So hopefully, Emily, that helps a little bit. But yeah, if you are worried about the person, and if you do know the person, and if you are worried about it, have a word with your doctor about it as well. I would probably suggest. I don't know, Tracy, I don't know if you would agree with me on that one. So, it's I also find it a great stress reliever. Okay, thank you, Emily. I find it a great stress reliever as well, because I can have a good old rant to myself. Unfortunately, my dog thinks that I'm having a go at him, so he'll come in and he'll kind of go, I haven't done anything wrong, and I can't go, no, it's not you. I'm just shouting at everybody and everything. I think they're just being twats on TV or on a TV program or whatever, and I will have this conversation. He's absolutely fine though if I'm talking to myself and we're out for a walk, because he can ignore me. It's just that when he's stuck inside with me in the house, he's kind of going, oh God, I do need to worry about her now. But yeah, so for me, I've always been talking out loud. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Work. Yes, yes, when I was a civil servant. So yes, what I would find to make sure that I got into the right routine of doing certain things. So there's procedures that you have to go through of doing things, and I would actually talk myself, I've got so and so here, oh yes, this is what they want, okay, so I have to go do this, and I would talk through the whole procedure. This drove everybody potty, but I would remember it, and then they kind of go, yes, but Emily can do it this way, and I go, don't mess with the system. Do not mess with the system. Don't give me another option. Just stick with the one option. This is how I do it. This is how we're going to do it. This is the way my brain remembers it. So yeah, that's how I go. Fabulous, Tracy. Thank you. So Tracy sought medical advice straight away, Emily. So I would suggest that if you are concerned. Absolutely. And for Tracy, that was the best thing. Absolutely. I think I'm perfectly normal. All of you going, no, you're not. You're mad. which is fine, which is okay. I don't mind. But yes, I've been told that I'm normal. Really, I have. As well, so yeah. But no, I do enjoy talking to myself. It does kind of, I can put things into order. I can make lists in my head out loud. What else do I do? Christmas shopping. Christmas shopping, I kind of go, do you think someone would like this? And I kind of go, no, not really. Really? Do you really think that? And I kind of go, no, not really. So I do have kind of a major conversation. And sometimes I will notice that I am talking out loud, louder than normal, like in a normal voice rather than just mumbling to myself. But I do smile when other people come up to me and kind of go, I do that as well, my dear. And yes, it's sometimes with the older generation, actually, they do that. But I do find all of the articles that I've looked at have all gone and said it's okay to talk to yourself. It's a way of journaling. It's a way of sorting things through in your head about what is good, what is bad. But I would say if you are like Tracy has gone and said, if you are looking at self-harming yourself, or if you are saying things which are putting yourself down, then and trust me, I've done that as well. And when I was saying it out loud, there's thoughts that go through your head. And then you say them out loud, they sound completely different. When they're in your head, for me anyway, I found that the negative things that I will say about myself, I kind of go, yeah, no, that's okay, I can live with that negative thought about myself. But when I say it out loud, I suddenly go, ooh, that hurts. Why am I saying that to myself? And especially when you say it out loud, it hurts. It really does hurt. So, hi Jess. Hello Jess. Hi. Hope you're well. Congratulations. Yes, I saw your Facebook notification. So congratulations there, Jess. So have you got any questions for me at all? And perhaps it's on the spiritual side about talking to yourself. And do I feel as though they're near me when I am talking to them? In a way, yes. But it's also quite disconcerting, because when you're about to step into a bath, it's not like you're fully clothed either. And then you suddenly realise, they're here with me. They can see everything. I may not want that. Hello. So yes, do I enjoy talking to myself? Yes, I do. Do I sing a lot? Yes, I do. Singing is also another good thing. It's a good thing. Hello, Karen. Hello. How are you? Don't worry if you've missed this. It's going to be on Facebook, and also putting it onto my YouTube channel. So if you want to do a bit of a rewind and find out what I was saying at the beginning about talking to yourself, and that's perfectly normal, please have a look. I will download it. So hopefully this week my sound is a lot better than it was last week. I do apologize for the sound last week, last time. So yeah, any questions? Any of you got any questions? Tracy, you may have some comments, something that I've missed, anything that you want me to I'm okay, thank you. Yes, yeah, I'm good, thank you very much. Any questions any of you have got? Let me just have a quick look through these lovely pieces of articles that I've got, and just see if there's any other tips for you about talking to yourself, and that it's okay to talk to yourself. Okay, so I have to take my glasses off. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. I need varifocals. Oh my God, I'm getting old. It's not right. It's not fair. Right. Okay, let me just have a look. Because, we do get taught that talking to yourself out loud is bad. But, here we go. Right, in a recent experiment in our laboratory at Bangor University, I nearly call it, different. Alexandra Kirkham and this person, excuse me, just going to find out who this person is, author Pamaloma Maria Beffa, demonstrated that talking out loud actually improves, we love this, control over tasks above and beyond what the achieved by inner speech. So there we go, I'm vindicated. Yes, absolutely. Talking out loud is great for you. So they gave, what they did for this experiment, for all of you out there, they gave 28 participants a set of written instructions and asked to read them either silently or out loud. I would do it out loud because I'm like that. And we measured the participants' concentration and performance on the task, and both were improved when the task instructions were then read out loud. So there we go. So there you go, you see, talking out loud is not a bad thing. It improves your ability to do things, hence why, see, I already did that at work by actually going through the instructions that I was told to do and doing those, but doing them out loud. I believe I was helping others as well do their job correctly, she says. But then obviously I then also made up words. Now that's a whole different sphere. Okay, so my word that actually did get round to other offices around the country, and I knew this because it was given back to me, was dogmatization. It's not a real word, but it is now because people are using that. Yes, and did you know it's not real? I made it up. I thought it was a good one. Dogmatization, yes. I tend to sing randomly. Now singing, Emily, I'm going to say right now, is great. Great. Singing is fabulous. There have been studies done with singing in that it improves your heart, improves your lungs capacity, improves memory. So singing is very good for you as well. Random lyrics from songs that come into my mind. Does that mean that the lyrics you sing are messages from Spirit? Good question. I'm going to say yes and no on that one, because I feel as though, if for me and how you're asking that question, the songs themselves and the lyrics that you are singing may be answering a unconscious question that you have. Okay, because I know that I've done that as well, and I tend to come out with certain lyrics during readings as well. However, I tend to change lyrics because, why stick with the ones that you've got? Let's change them. So I tend to do that. My husband talks to himself all the time. Hope you're well, Emily. Okay, June. Hello, June. June, does he have good conversations? Does it? And you see, I wonder if someone would interrupt me if I'm midstream. In fact, people have interrupted me midstream, and I lose the total thread of it all. My whole concentration on that disappears. So yeah, does it get a bit frustrated with you, June, when you if you interrupt him in mid-flow of a conversation? Because I know I kind of go, oh darn it, I have to go through that 3 hours again of talking to myself to get to point B. But you do see people who are working on, I've seen it with mechanics actually. And mechanics they're kind of mumbling to themselves, yeah, but I can't get this jack to work. It's the wrong jack. I've got the wrong piece. And they'll go back and say, oh, okay, this is actually the piece I need. So yeah, I do see that it's more regular than we give it credit for, actually. I'm just going to see if there's anything else here. Has anybody else got any other comments? Anybody else want to step up and say anything? Are you all a bit kind of like, oh my God, talking to oneself, it's not good. But yeah, and I do use it, like I say, as a form of, I give myself that space to talk out loud, to actually connect to Spirit as well. And those who have seen me know I can talk for 3.5 hours non-stop, I think there should be a talking marathon. Wouldn't that be great, a talking marathon? I'm working on it, guys. Don't worry. I've got some plans. And now that technology, and we're all happier using technology, I've got some plans of doing a proper proper marathon, like 26.5 hours worth of a marathon. Yeah. So that idea is still working away there. I just need some brains, obviously. And I kind of sit there and I kind of go, there's a big hole there that I don't know how to do that, and there's a big hole there and I would need help with this and that and the other. So yeah, I have got a fundraising idea. It's just I will need kind of technical support with that one. There's some stuff I cannot do. So I know, and I admit it. I admit it as well. You know, I can't do everything. Don't ask me to sew clothes. You may not get clothes. You may end up with a handbag instead because I've cut it wrongly. You know, so yes, there's limitations with us all. There are limitations. So yes. Any questions? So we've got singing, which I think is great. Uplifts you. It's so good for you, singing. Really, really is. And don't worry about you suddenly coming out with song, because I do that as well. Ludlow loves me. Apparently, Ludlow has certain characters, and I'm falling into one of those places of I'm being a character. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, really. Let me know on a postcard, which is fine. I don't mind. So, June, you've just gone and said, no, he's just as a random conversation with himself. Sometimes he talks to his family who are no longer with us. Oh, bless you, June. I do think as well, you know, when it is nice because you kind of remember that person as well when you are talking randomly to members of family who are no longer there. I mean, I do it, and it brings that memory back as well, and it's not me necessarily connecting to spirit. I mean, he may very well be doing that, June, you know, never know, but it's very much a case of bringing that memory back, bringing that essence back of who that person is, and remembering who they are, and remembering that perhaps they're, especially if they're family, they're part of you, and you just kind of go, God darn it, I'm so much like them. Or you may go, oh, that's really good, I have got that fighting will, or that determination, or that kind of assurance and confidence to be able to do X, Y, and Z. So yeah. So it's not always a bad thing. Just don't pat him on the head either. You know, I will often have a conversation with the dog. Like, I know you're looking at me like that. I know you can't do it. I know, and I know you would love to be able to do it. And it's like me talking to the dog. Am I connecting with him? I'd love to think that I am, and I would love to have a bit more training with that. There are some people who do talk to animals. I'm diversing again, aren't I? And digressing. That's the word I wanted to use, digressing. And there are a couple of people who do talk to animals and connect to them, and actually able to have a conversation with them. And I'd love to have that training. I'd absolutely love it. The woman that I do follow, she actually doesn't live in this country, funnily enough, and she travels around the world as well. So we'd love to be able to do that as well. So you never know. One day in our life. Yes. So like I say, randomly singing random songs. So I hope that this is a short Facebook. Anybody else got any comments? Because I just wanted to reassure you, talking to yourself isn't a sign of madness. I'm not mad. I'm actually helping my brain to process things. I'm helping myself to be able to put things into a context which is into an order, into a context where it's okay. If I have horrible thoughts, and we all put ourselves down, don't we, and we think them, if you say them out loud, it makes it a lot realer, doesn't it? Hi Sharon, hello. And when you say those nasty things about yourself out loud, you suddenly go, why am I doing that? That's really, really painful. So if you find that you're thinking those thoughts, and just try saying them out loud, And maybe you'll have a second thought about saying certain things, and you'll suddenly go, that sounds a lot worse. Because sometimes it is a lot worse when you say it out loud to yourself. You wouldn't say, I know that I say things to myself in my head, which if anybody else said it to me, I would punch their lights out, really. No, I don't mean that. But I would kind of get really horribly offended and upset. And yet I do that to myself. So then I kind of go, okay, let me just hear it. Let me hear what it is that I'm actually saying to myself. And then I kind of go, oh my God, no. I have the right to be offended, because that is really quite nasty. And I have said some really, really nasty stuff about myself as well in the past. So this year I'm trying not to. This year I'm kind of going, Emily, no, you need to stop that. And if it does come out of my head, I then kind of go and say, that's not what you need to say. You need to be saying X, Y, and Z. And it is kind of like a memory thing. It really is kind of like a helping with the memory. Okay, so got a couple of other comments. Sharon, you talk to yourself all the time. Fabulous. Join the club. Absolutely, Jess. So you just gone and said what I've just gone and said. So you're changing the negative thoughts by saying a positive affirmation out loud to yourself as well. That's excellent. And I think it is really important. But I think we sometimes forget how powerful certain words sound, and how powerful they. I don't know how to describe this other than I'm not going to say what I say to myself. I'm not going to say it out loud. But when saying it in your head is, you can almost dismiss it because you say it's just a thought. Okay. When you say, okay, so let me just say, it's, you are beautiful. You are wonderful. You have a soul that radiates out love, affection, and wonderment to everybody. Okay. That has a certain power to it. Okay. So that, for some people, is really hard to hear. Especially when we put ourselves down all the time, whether it be in our heads or out loud. To hear that is sometimes really hard to hear. And it's hard for us to take. So why not say those harder things out loud? Why not say to yourself, you are beautiful, you are wonderful, you are unique in yourself. You are unique. We are all unique. We are all the same but different. We are all diamonds walking around. We are all diamonds in the rough. We haven't yet been created into that diamond. We have yet to be transformed. We have yet to shine and to show our brilliance as well. And it's okay if when we haven't, there are people who haven't got limbs. There are people who find it hard to walk. That's okay. But we're still diamonds, all of us, no matter what shape, colour, creed, where we are, what we look like. We are all diamonds. We really, really are. We're all precious, unique things. And yet we're all similar as well. Diamonds come in a range of colours. Did you know that? You can get yellow, pink, blue, clear diamonds. And I'm at a guess there'll be a whole different range of coloured diamonds as well that I don't know about. But yes, to say the positive things is sometimes just as hard to hear as the negative. So say the positive things about yourself. And now some of you are kind of going, oh my gosh, that's really hard to do. But why not give it a go? Why not give it a go? If you can say the nasty things about yourself easily, then try to change it, like me and Jess, into saying the positive. But saying them out loud. It's okay to have them up here, but say them out loud. They'll have much more power to it. because it's going to your voice box. So your voice box is a muscle. So that muscle is remembering that. Your tongue, the way your mouth moves, muscles there. So that remembers that. Okay, and your brain remembers the sound of it. And then your feelings inside remembers how you feel when you hear those words as well. So it's not always about the negative, it's about the positive as well. So anything else that anybody would like to say, because I'm going to wrap it up there on that and just give you that task and find out what you get on to. Now next time, which is in a couple of weeks' time, I was going to talk about something else, but I've got a feeling I'm going to change it. My topics are very, very fluid. So if there is something that you want me to talk about, please let me know, and I'm more than happy to talk about it. Okay, so Nicola, you find it hard to take a compliment. Okay, but I'm learning to accept and say thank you. Later in my own space, I replay the words out aloud, over the days to try to believe in the words. Okay. Can I ask you a question there, Nicola? I want to say, how does it feel? Like, I'm not a trained psychiatrist, I'm not a counsellor or anything like that, but I'll just say, also remember, I know it feels really hard to take compliments. I mean, my friend has just given me a whole load of compliments this evening, and I was kind of going, yeah, but actually I know that the words are resonating. You know, they are resonating. They are sitting there kind of going, come on, Emily, you can hear those words, you can hear them again. And you know, it's that support there as well. Okay, so you know, when you does it make you feel, does it get easier with time, Nicola, with you saying those words out loud as well? So hopefully it does. So yes, if there is a topic that you would like me to speak about in a couple of weeks' time, it's always on a Saturday at 5 o'clock, nature prevailing. So sorry I was a bit late today. Please let me know. Send me a message on Facebook. There's Instagram. I'm on Instagram. You can email me. You can go onto my website, have a look on there as well. My website is kind of going through changes at the moment. Yeah, it's metamorphosizing. God, such a big word on a Saturday evening. Metamorphosizing. Is it a word? I don't know if it's a word, but it's a good word. If it's not a word, it is now. Metamorphosizing. You can't say that when you've had a few sherbets. I can tell you that now. Metamorphosizing. It's like dormatization. Anyway, so yes, please, please let me know if you have got some topics that you want me to talk about. I'm happy to talk about things. The whole reason why. Let me just go back to the whole reason why I'm doing these Facebook Lives. And next week I was going to talk about. I think it was about phases of the moon and stuff like that. But I think what I'm going to be talking about is me connecting and psychic art and stuff like that. So it's about that. So Nicola's just gone and put in, yes, the more I say them, they do make me believe and feel more positive. That's good. Really, really good. That's really, really good, Nicola. Good. Because I think we all need to have that positivity with us, you know. I just keep on saying that I was a supermodel in my previous life. So I've lived that, done that one, been the supermodel. So next time I'm going to be looking at connecting psychically with doing the art. The whole reason why I set up these Facebook Live sessions twice a month was for anybody who has got questions to ask a medium, really. I also do complementary therapies. So if you've got questions, and I do aromatherapy and reflexology. So if there is a topic that you want me to talk about along those lines, please let me know. I'm more than happy to talk about that as well. Now, on the 6th of April at, I think it's 8 p.m, 8 p.m, there's another Facebook Live that I'm going to be doing. And it's more of a webinar situation where there's a group of us and we're going to be talking about stress as well, and it's with Mystique. You'll find the connect. I have sent it out as shared on my page as well. I'll re-put it on to my Facebook page as well, for you to be able to find it. But it's all about talking about stress and how complementary therapies can help you with that and dealing with stress. So I'm going to be talking about what is stress and how it affects our bodies, because it affects us differently, and also about how it can literally come out of the blue. It can also kind of knock us sideways when our body kind of goes, okay, you've done enough, all the rest of it. So Jenny, you've said yes, it's 8 p.m. Fabulous, thank you, Jenny. So yes, I will be talking about that as well. So I'll be doing a kind of a little bit of a speech about that. So please come and join us on Facebook. It's with Mystique in Nottingham. Nottingham? Okay, it's not Nottingham. I don't live near Nottingham. It's Shrewsbury. Or Shrewsbury, depending on where you are in the country. Shrew or Shrewsbury. Okay, but it's at 8 p.m. So please come and join us. And even if you are not near to Mystique and you kind of go, oh, okay, it's not for me, they're going to be talking about what they do. Yes, but there are lots of different disciplines within complementary therapies, and it may be a case of that you kind of go, oh, that's really interesting, let me go and find out more about that. Okay, you know, Mystique has a whole range of therapists there. I don't know if they've got someone who does sound. I was going to say sound, but I know somebody who does sound. That's lovely. All sorts of different types of therapies are available. Okay, so there's bars, there's Reiki Ascension, there's crystals, there's people who mix and match, there's aromatherapy, reflexology, things like that. So like I say, I set up doing these Facebooks to kind of just do Facebook Lives and get to answer your questions. So please, if you have any questions, please drop me a line. I don't know how, you know, text me, phone me, whatever, but yes, let me know as well, and I'd love to hear from you and love to know what it is that I can perhaps help you with finding out. Now, somebody has asked me about crystals. I will say right now, and I did say to them then, I'm not the best person to talk about crystals because I know diddly squip about crystals. If you had asked me 10 years ago or even 5 years ago what I thought about crystals, I would have said, yeah, it's just a rock. Okay, my mind is slightly altering with crystals because crystal radio, I hate to point this out, but it uses quartz. Quartz is a vibration. So yeah, so my mind is changing. I am not in any shape, form, size at all an expert with crystals. I hear what other people say about crystals, and I think really I'm not the best person. But if you want me to talk about crystals, put it down and I will kind of go, okay, let me just have a look up about crystals, and it will be very, 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 very general. Okay, I will give you that now. I'll say that now. But yes, happy to help. It's been lovely seeing you all this evening. I hope that you've found it entertaining, and I also hope that you found that talking to yourself is a positive thing. It's not a negative thing, it is a positive thing. And I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks' time, 5 o'clock. I'll be posting a notification up on Facebook once again. You know, drop me a line. Love to hear from you, and I hope to see you all again soon. You take care. Have a lovely evening. Oh, before I go, happy Easter. Please eat lots of chocolate for me because I'm not eating it. So have a happy Easter. Enjoy the sunshine while we do have sunshine. And I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks' time. And do tell me what Easter eggs you've eaten. That'd be great. Take care all, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon. Bye now. Bye.